Hey guys, Jason at Fender Garage, and we are here in Gilbert, Arizona, and talking a little bit about Coyote Swaps again, and discussing how to make your 73 to 79 stock steering column work with the 6R80. So I've had quite a few people ask, how do you do it? And in my mind I'm thinking, well, it seems pretty self-explanatory and easy, but apparently it's not. So the way the steering column works is very similar to the way your C6 or whatever transmission you have in there. You might have had an FMX transmission or whatever. So we use a product made by Locar, and basically you're using Heim joints, a bar that comes in, and then you get that adjusted to attach to your transmission. Now this is one I've pulled out of a box that goes to a C10 we're building, and so and it's got a 6L 80 transmission, a 6-speed automatic transmission. It's the same thing if you're doing a C10, but in this case we're doing a Ford. And so I kind of want to show you on the column here, when we install our kit, our Coyote Swap kit positions the motor just perfectly, which kind of allows us to make all this stuff work. Now if you've positioned your motor more center and you're kind of in a situation where you have no room, then you might be up a creek and you might need an actual new column, and you might have to go to more of a cable style. And so if you get the I Did It column, or one of those where you can get the Locar cable shift onto it, that might work for you as well. So anyways, but in this application we're using the stock column, going to a 6R80 transmission, and we'll let you kind of zoom in here. Again, motor placement is critical here. So here's what we're talking about down here. This is your steering column right here that's coming out of the truck, and this is your shaft, and it's all connected back up to your rag joint right here. This is the factory portion of the bracket that actually would connect to a rod that goes down to like a C6 transmission. So what we've done is we've used the same bracket and used the Locar, which has a Heim joint on it, so the Locar adapter, and that bolts right through the bracket. There's a hole there. And so because that bolts in there, and we make some adjustments on the bar so that we have a nice smooth transition. Sometimes on the bracket this could be a little bit close right here to the valve cover, and so sometimes you have to bend this little bracket right there and create just a little bit more space. But aside from that, that's about it. Column, existing column bracket, Locar kit with the Heim joint, and attach it to your transmission. Basically on a 6R80 you're going to have reverse, neutral, drive. That's it. There is one more, which is your manual, your sport mode, but you're not going to use that, and you actually need to put some kind of a bracket to stop it from going into the sport mode, manual mode, if you're just running the 6R80. If you've got paddle shifters, or you've managed to hook all those extra wires up to make sport mode work, then that's a different thing. You can, go past it, but you still have to have a stop. There's a tendency to go too far, you might end up in sport mode and you might ruin your transmission. So anyway, it's just something to think about, installing a bracket to stop it at drive. And so we'll go take a look at the transmission so you can kind of take a look at how that mounts on the transmission, and really from there it's that simple. You may have to play around with bending the bar, get the right angles, a couple little tweaks so it's a nice smooth transmission, but that's really all it takes to mount the stock column to the 6R80 with a little connecting rod by Locar. Okay, so we're underneath the truck, and I'm right by the driver's side tire and looking kind of at the side of the transmission. And right next to your exhaust, you'll see the stock gear selector bracket, which we've installed on this truck. Now, you can try to use the stock bracket that comes in the Mustang. It might be pointed up, but we've basically moved it and pointed down for the bar, the Locar bar right here that we've installed. And so we also sell a bracket that Power by the Hour makes as well, that will attach up here and already has the hole and everything in it versus the square hole. And so basically you drill a hole in here, you install the new Heim joint, and then as your column pushes down, it actually clicks this back into the different gears. And on this one we don't actually have a stop bracket on it, but you would actually attach a bracket that would actually stop this from going past drive. And so since this is my truck and I actually know how to drive it and I know not to go past that, it's pretty easy for me to do. but for a customer or somebody else that might be unfamiliar with it and try to hunt for more gears, they don't have a low gear. So if you're looking for that low 1, low 2, that's not how these new 6R80 transmissions work. So anyways, hopefully that's helpful, and see ya.